Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and I want to show you how I made these. I made some tags, and I made like a file folder pocket, and it's for a weekly challenge for the paper outpost. And this is it's the mini file folder, which is number 31, and the challenge file folder journal cards, which is number 30. So I just kind of put both of these weekly challenges in one. So basically, I just have this little key for show, and I made a little bobby pin closure, and you can use a paper clip or whatever you want for your closure, and that just comes off. And then basically, I just took some old papers that I'd already had. I added some liquid pearl up here and here, did some stamping right here, and added my little floral, little butterfly that I got from Dollar Tree, and added some glossy accents, did some stamping and added glossy accents. So this opens up like this, and you have the little book pages. This comes out. It's just a little tag, and it opens up. It's like a little journaling spot. And then this also comes out along with this. And these are some of the tags that I made as part of that challenge. And they're all double-sided. And I just did various stamping, and I added some stickers and a playing card, and just kind of that was also a sticker that I just added to it. And this is a pocket here, and this comes out, and then this is just some graphic 45 paper that I just added with it, and this is one of the other cards that I added. They were really simple, the file folder cards, journal cards that I made. I just made them like really simple. And so these flip down and open. Let me slide it down into frame so you can see. And then you have some journaling spots right here. And then I just added the word inspiration, and these words, oops, happy, helpful, inspiration. All these words I got from, I think it was Allegra Digital. I have to look at the name of it. I have a link in the description. I added those on there. They're from the Etsy shop. So these come out, and what I did was I fussy cut this lady out from a graphic 45 lady's diary, and I placed it behind a little blue ticket and some cut paper, and made like a little pocket here, and just added a doily. And here's some more of the tags. Now this one's from Graphic 45 Couture Collection, and I added it to one of the journal cards and tags that I made. And then these are some more double-sided tags and journal cards. So let me show you how I made it. So to start out, I'm going to do the mini file folder, and this is from the weekly challenge number 31. And I've decided I'm just going to use leftover papers from my last projects, and as well as embellishments and things like that, just to make it really simple. So here's a piece of scrap paper, and I'm just going to cut it. Let's see, right on the line. And I think, yeah, I'll go ahead and take that off, the white edge. This was from a digital kit, Vintage Fashion, 8.5 by 11 commercial use vintage fashion kit on my Etsy shop. That's what this paper was from. So I'm just going to use some bits and pieces left over from it. And I'm just going to make a little mini file folder. So it already has like a line, So I'm just going to literally fold this in half. And this is going to be the size of my file or folder. And I've got it's a school template. Well, not really a template, I'm going to use it as a template. It's these insertable dividers, and they have these little tabs on them. I've got a tab punch board, but I'm not going to use it. I feel like breaking it out. So I'm just going to use one of these. And in the paper outpost, when she made hers, she had some type of, I forgot what, it's kind of like a Rolodex paper or something, I'm not real sure. But, and she used it as like a template. So I'm going to do the same thing using these tabs. So let me get my pen. I'm just going to draw around it. Let me just zoom in so we can see what all is going on. Okay, so I'm just going to slide this right here, hold it steady, and then just trace around it. Assuming my ink pen is writing. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I want the word society to show. So you know what, I'm not even going to put one on that side. It'll just have a tab on this side. Because that's basically all you need anyway. So I'm just going to cut that out. Let me zoom back out so you can see. Yeah, I wanted that right there to show. Grab my scissors. And I'm just going to cut it where I traced it at. And I'm not the greatest at fussy cutting, but we're going to make the best of it. And I like that, and then it's a tab, and I think I'll leave that straight right there. I thought about cutting that off to match the tab. I think I'll leave that on there. So now I have to play around and figure out, yeah, this will be the front. I'm going to need some flips and tucks and all those good little fun things. And I've got some leftover scrap papers. And some of these already have some score lines on them. So what I'm going to do, these are going to be hinges. These were basically scored at 1/2 inch. All these are 1/2 inch scored lines. I'm just going to take my paper trimmer and cut some of those out. And I'm going to measure it to the width of the my little mini file folder, which is a little over 4 inches. So I'm just going to make it 4 inches. So let's cut these down to 4 inches. And then I will cut 1/2 inch, no, a whole inch out, so I'm going to have 2 of them. And then I'll be able to fold these over. And these are going to connect. I think I'll have something coming out on the side. And then I'll also have something coming on the bottom. So let me add some glue. Well, actually, let me cut the edges, the corners like this. With like a V shape. That way I think it might make it a little bit easier. Let me put these in here. And I'm just using some art glitter glue. I'm just going to glue one side. In the middle. And that's one of my hinges, and then I'm just going to add this for my second hinge. And the good thing about using this double-sided paper is you already have an image on both your inner and outside, and it works really well. Now there's something that I should have done first, which was distress this. So I'm just going to go ahead and distress the edges around this. I'm going to see what this looks like with the vintage photo distress oxide. Yeah, it shows pretty well. Open it up and go around the edges. I'm going to do the inside the same way, and although this is going to get covered up, I'm still just going to kind of distress it a little bit so it blends in. And I do like the brown, but to me it's not dark enough to highlight the whole part, so I always typically go back over mine again with black ink, because to me the black just really helps it show. It stresses it a little bit better. Okay, so now that I have that, I know that I'm going to create a pocket here. Then I'm going to need something in here too, so I might do like a mini envelope. Like a sideways mini envelope. I think I will. I think I'll just use white paper. And I'm just going to stamp on it just randomly. Okay, so I have a Bow Bunny Rough It Up stamp. And basically it's just different textures or whatever. And I'm just going to randomly pick one of those up. Put it on my block. And I'm going to use a combination of brown, black, and blue ink. Wipes. I'm just going to wipe the stamp off. And then I'm just going to use some blue. This is Broken China Distress Oxide. And then I'm just going to come back through with some Distress Oxide Black Soot. Okay, so now that that's stamped, I'm just going to score a line on each side at a 1/2 inch. All except for one of the long sides I'm not going to score. And this is going to be the top of the envelope that's going to go inside of here. So I'm just going to take a 2-inch circle punch and I'm just going to eyeball it in the middle and just cut where the entrance of the envelope is going to go, or pocket is going to go. Not quite centered, so I'm just going to have to edit that just a little tiny bit. Take a little bit off. Okay, I think that'll work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come through here and I'm just going to cut at an angle. You can see they're not where the lines meet. Do both sides that way. It's where the score lines meet. That way when it comes to folding it up, it's a little bit easier. Okay. And then I'm just going to fold these over, the flaps over, and I'm going to also distress them. I'm going to have this going at an angle. But before I put this in here, I need to have something covering this up. So what I'm going to do, I decided I actually want to use a piece of black because to me it's more contrasting with the blue and white. So I'm just going to cut this down. And this will go here to cover this. So let me just go ahead and put that there. And before I apply it, I want to have a brown doily. I had to run much through my stuff and find it, but I did finally get a hold of it. I'm just going to cut it before I glue this on here. Now that my glue is almost dry. And I know I'm probably making a mistake by putting this doily in this trimmer, but I'm just going to give it a shot anyway. So I will put this here, and then I will have this, yeah. Let me distress this doily. I'm just going to use some black ink since it's already brown. Okay, and then I'm going to add some glue to it. Put this in the center. Had to add some more glue to this because I ended up letting it dry out while I was trying to find the doily. So I'm just going to add a little more glue. Don't need a whole lot. I want to cover this up. then I can place this on top. I think I'll have it going straight. Yeah, I wanted it to go at an angle, but I think it'll look better going straight. Yeah, I'll have it go straight. So I'm just gonna add some glue here. And in this little corner, which I should have did first. Right here. And then this is just gonna tuck down and stick it in there. So we've got us a little pocket here. So I'm gonna have to make some tags to go in there. And then I'm gonna need a flap to come out from here. So that's what I'm gonna work on, or the flaps. And I found some scraps of brown left that I think I will use. Just cut these down to 4 inches. I'm going to go ahead, these are going to be like the base of the pages. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these on here. But I'm going to add the glue to the flap since the paper is the brown paper is a little bit bigger. So I'm going to add it to the flap. And I left like a little bit of space from where it folds over so that when it does fold, it won't bend. And then I'll cover this up with something. And I'm also going to cover this up with something too. I'm going to go ahead and add this. Okay, and then I do need something right here. So since I did black there, I'll probably do black here. And I'm just going to make like a mini pocket. So I'm going to cut this down and use an edge punch on it. Yeah, I like that. And I'm just going to keep these little leftover pieces from the edge punch. I think I'll just add that. I might give it a little bit of character. Just add that to here. Just make this really simple. I'm just going to glue these sides and the bottom. And we'll have a mini pocket right here. So then I'm going to need something in the center, and I think I might use some blue, either white or blue. Okay, and so I found a few strips of coffee dyed paper that I had left. So I'm just going to cut these down to size. I really have to be careful with this paper because it is sensitive. 3 3/4. But it's okay if it's ruffled because it's got the vintagey look anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and distress these and glue it. Okay, so I've got these glued on here. I've distressed them and glued them on there. And so I do need something to cover up the backs of them. Well, I think I'll do, I'm considering collaging it, but first I'm going to make like a pocket out of some old book pages. And I'm just going to, since this is already like ruffled up, most of these are super ruffled up, I'm just going to take my glue stick. I'm just going to glue these pages together. Fold it in half all the way. And then I'm just going to cut part of this leftover, these edges. Do this one the same way. Okay, now you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to add some Liquitex Gloss Super Heavy Gel. I'm just going to take my fingers and just rub a little bit across the front and the back because this will make it sturdy so that when you use it as a pocket or something, you don't have to worry about it tearing up, and it will dry clear so you're not losing any of your image. So I learned this technique from Anna's Paper Creation years ago. I don't know if she's crafting anymore, but that's who I learned this, using this Liquitex gel medium from, and it really does help. Makes your stuff more, your paper sturdy. And it seals in your colors too, so if you were to distress it and then go over it with a different color, the first color that you had would stay on there. You wouldn't have to worry about it getting blended in. So, but I'm only going to use one color, which is distressing it, so that's why I decided to do this first, and then I'll go back over it with the Distress Oxide inks. It gives it like a plastic kind of feel in a way once it's dry. And I'm just going to let it dry for at least a good 5 minutes before I do anything else to it. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm going to come back through and I think I'm just going to use some solid white paper to cover these up. So once again, let me move these out of the way and let them dry. So this was, I'm gonna need to make one 3.5 by 3. Okay. So I'm just going to distress these edges. I'm just going to go ahead and add these one here. And I'm going to make it flush with the bottom. I was going to do a collage, but I don't think I will. I'll do something different. This is just going to be a matte. This white's going to be a matte. I think I'm just going to have like cascading pockets, if that's possible with these. So I'm going to cut them down. I'm just going to cut this edge off. The same thing with this one. And I'm just going to make these, let's see, here. This is about 2 inches. I'm gonna make some that are 2 inches long, maybe 2 for each side. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add these to some brown cardstock just to make it a little bit thicker. And I'm gonna make it to where I'm gonna go ahead and score 1 inch down. Or I'm gonna score 1/2 inch down actually. You actually get by with 1/4 of an inch, but I just went ahead and did 1/2 of an inch. And then I'm just going to glue this to where I have just a little bit of a margin, probably like an 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch going around. That way when I glue it down, I know for sure it isn't going anywhere, and it's just extra sturdiness. And it needed a border. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my scoring board and go across this way 1/2 inch, or 1/2 inch from where bottom is. Or not quite a ½ inch, but close enough. And then I'm just going to score right beside it. And then I'm just going to cut this out. But before I do that, I need to score another ½ inch so I'll know exactly where to put it at. I accidentally cut that down, so I'm just gonna score it again. This time I'm gonna score it flush with this paper here. And I'm just gonna fold this down. Fold this over, fold this over. And I'm just going to cut it in the corner at an angle. Where the score lines meet. Do the same thing here, cut it at an angle. So now when I put this on here, this first one, I think I'll have it in the middle, as a matter of fact, like right in here, or right here. I'll have it over here. So make these in the corner, this in the corner, and then this a little bit here, this little here, and then we're just going to go ahead and apply it. And I'm just going to hold it for a moment. Make sure that's on good. Then I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm just going to go ahead and glue this one here. Score right next. Well, it's already scored actually right there. So since I'm going to cut this down, I'm going to have to score it right next to this. I'm just going to add this. I was going to add it to the side, but I think I'm just going to add it directly over top of it. And I have this cute little bow. I think I'll use a different one. This is a little bit more flat. something with blue. I might add a piece of text or something to it. Okay, so I got these two on here, so I think I'm just going to make some corner pockets for this one. So basically all I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold these over into a triangle. Try to get it as even as I can. And I'm just going to glue it together. And then I'm just going to put them on the corner. That way it gives it a little bit of something a little bit different. But it's still pretty sturdy. Fold that over. If I can figure out how to, what did I do? I don't know what I did. Oh, I see. It's going to be slightly, well, the text is going to go vertical, but I think that'll be okay. This text is horizontal, but this text is going to go vertical. Because if I do it vertical this way, I would have to turn it like that, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, so basically, let me slide back out just a little bit. I've got my pockets. So this is what we have so far. We have this front and back. Open it up. Have your slot here, and then you have like a little pocket here. Both of these flip out. And you have a journaling spot here, journaling spot here, a little pocket here. And I'm going to add some text to it because it's still kind of bland. I'm going to add some text to both of these, to all four sides. So I'm just going to go through my little book. I have a book of text that I can use. I have some that's already cut down. And I think I'll back this by black cardstock. Okay, so I decided to use these words, and I distressed them and just glue them to some black cardstock. And these words are from Allegra Digital, and it's from the Quotes Digital Collage sheet that I got off of Etsy. That's where that comes from. So I'm just going to glue these on. I'm just going to put this on the side. And I'm going to put this one here. I think text really helps bring out a journal or folio or whatever. To me it does. It's very helpful. Then I'm just going to put one of these words. I'll put one here. And then I'll put this one up here. And then I'm going to stamp an image here and maybe here, we'll see. I have some small stamps. I don't know if this is from Stampendous, or I'm not real sure which stamp set this is. I've had it for a while. I got it from a flea market actually, so I don't really know the name of it. Since it has the Paris theme, I think I will use like a butterfly and a frame. And I'll just leave that one blank, but I'll do a butterfly and a frame on these two here. And there's already the Eiffel Tower in the background, so I'm not going to add another one. Well, I could stamp an Eiffel Tower right here, actually. I think I will. So I'm just going to use a combination of the vintage, the Distress Oxide Black Soot, and then the Pigment Ink by Ranger Black Tie. Because for some reason, when I use the two inks together combined, it makes the image pop a little bit better. So that's what I'm going to do. Move all this out the way. So I'm going to stamp it first with the with the black soot, and I'm going to come back with the black tie. I want to put this in the middle as best I can. And it still shows up, even though we added the Liquitex, it still shows. So that's the good thing about it. So I'm done with that image. Set that to the side, and then I'm going to get the butterfly on there. I'm just going to do the same technique. I'm going to dab it in the Distress, the soot, the black soot, and then the black tie. And I'm just going to add this little stamp here. And I like that. And then I'm just going to add this little Eiffel Tower. How that came out, because it's very crystal clear. And you could go further and put some embossing powder and all that stuff on it, but I'm not going to do that for this illustration. So now I need to make some tags for these. Okay, so before I make the tags, I do need to decorate both of these sides, the front and the back. So I have some leftover scrap. Oh, I didn't see that. I think I'm just going to use, oh, I don't want to cut that though. Oh, this is pretty. It's a toss up because both images, one's going to get cut. I guess I'll just go ahead and use this flower like I had considered. So, I know I'm crazy like that. It's so hard to cut images when they're so pretty. So I'm just going to cut this out. And I'm going to have it in the corner. And I'm going to also do some stamping. And I'm going to add a butterfly too. So That way it'll kind of bring it out. Since it's got the floral kind of Paris shabby chic sort of look to it, I figure I'll just go ahead and use this image. I just get so sentimental when it comes to my papers. I don't know why. I love all of them. Okay, so I'm going to distress this with brown and black, and I'll be right back. Okay, and so before I add this to here, I'm going to stamp on this side. And I'm using the Bo Bunny Sweet Clementine stamp set. I'm going to use the same technique where I use the Distress Oxide black soot, and then I'm just going to go back over it with the black tie, the pigmenting black tie. And that came out pretty decent, I think. Slight voids in there, but it'll be okay. So now I'm going to add this on here. And you don't need a whole lot of glue, but I just want to make sure this is going to stay. Okay. I'm just going to put it directly in the corner. Could have made that into a pocket. Oh, that's okay. And then I might put this butterfly over top of this. Actually, I think I need a small butterfly. And I got these butterflies from the Dollar Tree. And they come in like blue and gold, pink. It's really pretty. That one. I think that's the smallest one I have. Yeah, it works. So I'm just gonna, actually I need to distress this. I'm just going to glue it on. I have the notion to add some green, like green leaves or something, or like a stamp, like a vine of a stamp. So I have a stencil. I don't know where I got this from. I think I got it from Hobby Lobby or somewhere. I'm not real sure. Anyway, I'm just going to come across, or actually I'm going to come at an angle. I'll just come kind of in a downward motion. And I'm going to use, I have some Firefly alcohol markers. These have like the green and blues. They have a fine tip on them. So I think I'm going to use, I think I'm going to try this vivid green and see what it looks like. Mark it on something. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with. Hopefully this is going to turn out okay. I don't know because I haven't tried this yet, but we're just going to see. I'm just going to roll with it. So I'm just gonna color in. I should have glued this down, but it's okay. And these alcohol markers kind of act as like a stamp, where they're dark and you can see it really well once it's on there. So, and you can, I like the fine point tip on here because you can control where you want your ink at. That's okay. It's not all that, but I wanted to have it to where there was some green against, well, the pink was against the green. Yeah, I think I'll put the butterfly up near here and just call it a day. I think that'll work. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black set of pens, and I'm just going to use my fine point in on the black. For some reason isn't functioning correctly, so I'm going to take the next darkest color, which almost looks black, and I'm just going to go around the butterfly just to highlight it. Give it a shadow. I'm gonna do the same thing with this rose. To me, when you do that, it just really accents your part. It just makes it stand out better. I don't know. What do you guys think? So I've got that side, and I may as well put a word somewhere over in here. And I think the stamp set, yes, it has many words in it. I think I'll put the word heart. I'll use that right there. It's so small, it's hard to see. Make sure I put it where I can reach it at. Okay, so I'm just going to dip it in both inks, and then I'm going to stamp. Yeah. Okay. And then I just need something back here. I need an image of something that's not too broad, that doesn't take away from the look. Actually, I could just stamp a butterfly on there. I think I will. I'm just going to stamp a butterfly. Or better yet, two butterflies. Like a butterfly and a heart. And a butterfly. Yeah. So let me just stick these three stamps together. Ink them up. And there we have it. I don't think that's too busy, but I think it'll work. I may put some glossy accents right here, just so that can kind of pop a little bit. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to take this gray pen, and let me zoom in so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so basically all I'm going to do is just kind of like go over these little areas, like around the circle, because this is going to make it pop. And once the glossy accents is on there, it really makes the colors underneath show. It's like it embosses the colors or something. But they really pop. It makes them more pronounced. Okay. So I'm just going to take some of this Ranger Glossy Accents, and it's got like a fine tip. Maybe you can see that or not, but yeah. So you just kind of go around the area that you want covered. So I'm just going to go around like the circle of it. And then I'm going to go around the little squares. And when it dries, it's going to dry clear, but it'll have a three-dimensional look to it. And I think I'm going to also do that. I'm going to go around these butterflies as well. It'll elevate it, but not too much, to where you can still add it to your book and it's not too much bulk. I hope I'm in frame. Well, okay. Let's try it like this. So we're going to let that dry, and we're going to work on some tags. Okay, so now I'm actually kind of going backwards, because this is weekly challenge number 30, but I just did 31, which was the file folder. But we're going to make some file folder tags, and I'm gonna try to make these fit into the file folder that I just made. So I'm just going to randomly just start cutting. And I know I've got two small pockets on here, so I think these were like let's see how many inches it was. These were roughly 2 inches, so I'm just going to make some tags that are like 1.5 inches. I'm constantly thinking of ways to craft. Okay, so I'm going to also need a tag that is, let's see, this one is approximately 4, so we'll do 3.5 inches. And then we have that one pocket that's on the inside, this little small one. And it's approximately 3.5, so we're going to do one at 3 inches. I just have to make sure I'm waiting for all this to dry. So let's make one at 3 inches. And since this is actually 3 inches right here, I'm going to leave this one here. And let's see, I don't want it too tall. So I'll make it about 2 inches. I'll start out at 2.5 inches just to see. Just to make sure it's going to fit down in there. Yeah, it'll fit. And then I'll have like a little flip coming out of this too. I don't want to make it too bulky though. Oh, goodness. Just got my fingers on there. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut down some random sizes. And we're just going to have some fun with it. Alright, so I'm just going to make multiple tags. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to distress all of these edges. I think I will use my normal browns and blacks, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've distressed all of these front and back with browns and blacks. So what I'm going to do is just simply, I'm going to do some collaging and some stamping. And when I stamp, I'm not even like planning. I'm just, here's a 49 in market. This is Pascal's Grammar stamp. I'm just going to add some, I'm just randomly going to put these on some of these cards or tags or whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to use different color inks. I'm going to use some browns and blues, maybe a little bit of reds and greens, just to kind of give it some background. And it's just random. It's going to be on the fronts and backs of some of them. I'm going to use different colors. This one was Peeled Paint Distress Oxide. I'm just going to use some Fired Brick on this and some of these next ones. Let me zoom back out so you can see a little bit of what I've got going on. I've already stamped some of these with green. And then I'm also gonna flip them over and just randomly add some stamps of another type. This is Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous. Which one is this? The Journey Clean Stamps. broken china. Enjoy the journey. And I'm just barely putting it where you can see it at. I'll also use some brown. Okay. And then I'm just going to put some black on some of these as well. And I'm just going to use some black tie instead of the Distress oxide on some of them, because it's pretty pronounced whenever it's stamped on there already. Okay, so I've got these stamped front to back, on all of them. And so now I'm going to do some collaging and just start adding some stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3 cards and some sandpaper. I don't know what grit sandpaper it is. It's just sandpaper. And I'm just basically going to kind of sand down these playing cards front and back. And it's just to kind of get the gloss off of it, because when I glue it to the papers, the tags, I want it to stay. And I also want it to have a distressed look to it. So I'm just sanding these down and I'm gonna wipe it off. So I'm just going to wipe some of this dust off of it. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip portions of it off. And I'm going to put them on some of these. I'm going to distress the edges. I'm going to go over it with brown and with black ink, because to me that just kind of makes it stand out just a lot better, a whole lot better. And I'm just going to randomly glue it on. I'm just going to tear this other little piece off. That's the front. I'm going to make this go on the back of it. It's fun to just use up your stash of what you have, you know, and just have fun. There's no right or wrong way when you're crafting. So that's partially one tag right there. And then, let's see, I have this key. I think I'm just going to glue it on here randomly. I had already had this from a previous project, so I'm just using up leftover pieces of stuff. And then I think I'll just add like something like a flower. It's just random. I'm just putting stuff on here. I'm just going to flip it over and have another little flower. Actually, let me put the glue on the opposite side. And then I've got some of these leftovers from where I punched. I did some hole punches. I'm just going to go around the edges with these. even inside the little holes. And these are literally just little scraps from other projects. And I'm just going to take a marker and go around it. Some of these are going to be complex, and some of the tags are going to be virtually pretty easy. So I have two partial tags. That one I may just put one image on the front. I think I'll just put the butterfly on it. I'm just randomly grabbing whatever. I'm challenging myself to not overthink, because that's typically what I do, is just overthink everything, and I never get anything accomplished. And then some tags I'm just going to leave bare. And then other tags I'm going to add the king. I'm going to do it the same way that I did the 10. Take a little bit of that off of there. It's a little more distressed. Turn this around, that way you can flip it the way you would a card. You can go vertical or horizontal and you'll still get the same image. I might not use the 2. I'm just going to grab something else, another stray piece of paper. So just grab what you have, don't even think about it, and just start adding stuff. And then I'm just going to, some of these I'm going to add some black to. Okay, so I felt like I needed some contrasting colors, and I did find some black. Then I'm going to add to some of these. I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I've got some paper, some stickers from the Graphic 45 Ladies Diary, and different images from various Graphic 45 collections that I might use on here. So this has had time to dry. Back here, I've kind of messed it up, but I've tried to tweak it a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. So what I'm going to focus on is on the inside, here and here. I'm considering putting this picture in the middle. What I did was I fussy cut out a lady and glued her to some black cardstock using the Liquitex Professional Super Gloss Heavy Gel. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, I have this blue piece of paper, and I'm just going to take my Fisker's punch. It's a ticket punch. I'm just going to punch out a blue ticket. Because I feel like this photo needs something behind it to make it pop or stand out or whatever. And then I may also take my, I have some of those funny shaped scissors. I think I'll just cut some. And I'm just going to attach it. That way when I put this on here, the blue will show beneath it as well. So I'm just going to, first I'm going to glue it. To the ticket, so I'll know exactly where to cut it at. And try to center it. And then I'm going to glue the lady onto it as well. I'm just going to put it in the middle. Put some glue in the middle. That way I can determine where I need to cut the blue. I think I'll just cut it right here. Just kind of eyeball it. And before I glue it on, of course, I'm going to distress it around some of the blue. I think this will kind of help bring out the middle of this folio. Try to get it in the middle. And then I'm just going to apply it approximately right here. Trying to make sure I don't glue it down because I think I got the glue too far up on this blue ticket, so I'm just kind of making sure that it only glues to what needs to be glued down. So I like that centerpiece right there. I'm gonna put the word fashionable on here. I think I will, but I'm gonna add it to some black cardstock. So. Fashionable. Yeah. Whenever I'm making my cards or my folio, I typically make my elements to match after the folio has been made, or I'll try to make some beforehand, but in this situation I had to make it afterwards so I can know what theme to use, because some of the things that I have may not match. Now these cards that I use on here, I do like the red, but the red is a little bit too bold, I think, against the pink. So what I may do is kind of tone it down by coloring the heart black. Don't want to do that on both sides. I think I'll put, since this has fashionable on this side, I think I'll put the sticker on this side and just kind of go around it with black. I'll just put the word hats. Paris hats. You can see Paris in the background. So that kind of gives it the theme. As a matter of fact, this text has the word hat, begin at lower edge. So I may just this here. Okay, so I like this this image right here on this. It's a sticker sheet. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to glue it to where it's a part of this sheet. And then I'm going to cut it out. I'm basically going to cut out just the image of the lady. I'm going to add it to this card. And I'm going to distress it, of course, first. I'm going to go over it with this marker, this alcohol marker. Since it has a fine point on it. The reason why I'm using the side, this is that black pen that I was telling you about that doesn't work right. So I have to, in order to get the ink, I have to use it on the side. Either that or use the broad end. So I'm just gonna, I'm using the fine end, but the only way to get it on there is to go at an angle. My ink pen wants to trip. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over just a little bit more detail on it. And I'm just going to add it to like the outer part of this card. And what I want it to do is to hang down. So I'm just going to glue just the upper part of the hat. So when I put this in here, it'll look as though this can actually become a tuck spot and a tag all at the same time. Just put it in the center. I think I'll go around the word hats. So I think I will still use these here. I think that'll work. Now I've decided I'm going to top this off with some liquid pearls going across here on top of the tab. That way the tab is more pronounced. That's if I don't run out of it. I think I might be running out. This is light opal. Okay. And I also have like a little clip. It's a bobby pin clip that I made, and I want to use it as a closure. I have made this a little too thick. This is for something thinner, but so far it'll work. So I'm just gonna let this dry. And okay, so this is dry now. So I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. Let me zoom back a little bit. Actually, I just need to do one more thing with this. I'm actually going to highlight. I'm just going to go around these little circles. Yeah, and I'm just going to go around this little heart. And then I'll show you the journal. Here's the front. Then of course it opens up. And then I decided to go ahead and use these tags. The one with the king. And then it says hats. And then I made like a little tag out of that. So that slides down. And then when you pull that out, she comes out with it. And this opens up. So, and then I decided to use this little tag. I didn't punch any of the holes in the tags. I just left them as is. So these open up. And then you've got your little journal in the spots. And then here's the lady that I cut out, fussy cut out. And then these pieces of ephemera that I decided to use. So, and you can use these in your little journals and different things. Let me put these back. Maybe I should turn it like this. That way it'll fit through there. But yeah, you can just add it to your journal, composition notebook, whatever you're working on at the moment, you know, and just have fun with it. You can maybe even tack it on the inside of your book with a clip of some type, you know. But yeah, so I hope you like this tutorial, and I hope that it was fun, and you continue to like, share, comment, follow, subscribe, check out my other videos and my blog and social media sites. And thanks for watching.